All right, Taurus, welcome to your chakra reading for Mercury Retrograde starting January 30th, going through February 20th or 21st. Let's see what comes up for you. Remember that Mercury Retrograde is all about us being able to release certain things, certain patterns, loops that are not serving us anymore. A lot here to do with communication, obviously, as that's what Mercury governs. So let's see what we have here in the root chakra for Taurus, Mercury retrograde. Okay. All right. We have Knight of Pentacles, followed by Seven of Wands, Four of Cups, and then Two of Swords. So what I'm getting here for the most part is that you might have felt like things kind of slowed down for a while for you and then are picking back up now. The whole thing here is there's this element of, is how things are looking like right now really how I want them to be? It feels like you have some decisions on the horizon, and you might feel even a little bit afraid of making a mistake. This almost kind of feels a little bit like the reading I'm doing for February for Taurus anyway. But the thing is here, you feel very self-assured in a different way. So when it comes to any fears or things that are coming up for you here in the root chakra, I feel like you're going to be more prepared. I also think that you have learned to be more still and be able to listen in the quiet for insight. Okay. So use the tools that you've gathered, especially that you have been able to employ more use of during 2020, because that's going to, there's some elements here that are going to test that during Mercury retrograde. And make sure that you are slowing down. Okay. So if you feel a fear come up for you, slow down, yield. It's time to kind of recollect yourself and center yourself before you make any decisions. So let's take a look at sacral for Taurus. Sacral for Taurus, please. Mercury retrograde. Eight of Cups in reverse. So there's something that you managed to overcome, whether that's like a vice or some sort of personal difficulty or situation, but you might be feeling like you want to go back to it. Don't. So that's like the immediate thing that I got is like, don't do that. But what this is all about is making sure that you took the lesson out of whatever that difficulty, vice situation was, so that way you don't go back to it. And remember the quote that a memory without the emotional charge is wisdom. That's a Joe Dispenza quote, by the way. So that's what you want to make sure of, is that you're not going back to something that wasn't healthy for you just because of how it made you feel, even if that was temporary or some sacrifice was required on your part to actually have that feeling. You can get the good feelings that you want in different ways. It doesn't have to be from that unhealthy thing, whatever it was. Okay. So solar plexus, please, for Taurus during Mercury retrograde. Temperance. A temperance card here for the solar plexus. So you need to balance out. Um, the first thing that comes to mind is control. There's this feeling like you don't either want to be controlled, you don't want to lose control. And so somewhere in the middle, you're grappling with control of some sort. So there's a balance here. And that balance is actually remembering that you don't have control over anything except your energy. So everything else you have influence over. So if there is something that you're wanting to change that's showing up in your reality, the balance is going to come with either taking a look at how you think or how you feel about whatever that is and tweaking that, changing your perception. And when you change your perception, you can change the thoughts, the stories around whatever it is that can make you feel differently. And when you feel differently, the situation is going to change. Okay. Heart chakra for Taurus, for Mercury retrograde. And it's Four of Pentacles in reverse. There's this element here of control that's showing up again, Taurus. So Mercury retrograde is really going to be addressing, forcing you to address this issue of control. So, there's some sort of disappointment, resentment that has built as a result of you not being able to control something. There's something that you don't like that you are seeing, and is something in your experience that you don't like, and so because you can't control it, it's making you feel out of sorts, out of character, making you perhaps even think or say or do things that really aren't you. It's kind of bringing out an ugly side to you. So um, if it's something that if it's let's say if it's something that is completely out of your control, like someone else's behavior, and what I just said, you can really only control your behavior and how you think and feel, then you need to allow for the other person to be who they are without changing them. That's really what unconditional love is. Doesn't mean though, let's say if that other person is actually being destructive or abusive to you, you don't have to stay, around them. But this really feels like um, it's bringing up parts of you that, you know, um, that you do either one need to heal, um, or two change altogether, which is part of the healing. So it's something though that you don't like that you're seeing. All right, so throat for Taurus, Two of Wands and Page of Swords. So know when to speak, know when to share your knowledge. Because here with the Page of Swords, there's a little bit like of an immaturity here with this. If you're going to share anything with anybody else, then make sure, one, that you have your facts straight. Two, that if you're giving like unsolicited advice, which I don't necessarily recommend, but if it's something that happens that you happen to do, um, just admit that it's something that is new for you. Okay. It's something that you really may not have embodied yet. You're just kind of sharing for the sake of discussion. Two of Wands, though, like I said, you have a choice in your delivery. You have a choice of when to. Timing can be everything sometimes. So if it is a time to kind of, bite your tongue or just pause and wait or yield, pay attention to that because you'll feel that. All right. So we have third eye for Taurus during Mercury retrograde. Because remember, so everything that I'm pulling up here, this is for that 3-week span of time, until Mercury goes direct again. Okay, so these are things that are probably going to surface for you, especially when it comes to communication. Okay, so 8 of Wands, for the third eye. So Taurus, are you totally like overthinking? Are you making yourself really anxious? Which can in turn affect your communication or ability to communicate. This is something to really watch for. Again, I say go back to that stillness, go back to that quiet place where you can observe the thoughts that are coming in and out and then choose which are deserving of actually having attention. Okay. And then crown for Taurus. Crown for Taurus, please. Mercury retrograde. Crown for Taurus. Okay. So 3 of Wands in reverse. Okay. You might have temporarily lost, or you might temporarily lose that feeling of that connection with the divine or spirit. So for you, if it's not something that you're totally accustomed to doing or making it a practice, watch for signs, watch for nudges that kind of come your way in the form of signs. It could be animals, could be birds. Um, it could be numbers, it could be, butterflies, it could be coins, it could be anything. So just pay attention to that, because when you start to notice a pattern in repeating symbols or signs, then that is helping you along. That is demonstrating to you that you are connected. And when you feel the connection, then it's easier for you to take back your energy with your life to be able to see what steps to take next. Okay. So spirit is always helping us along. And that comes with the signs, the nudges, the hits, the downloads that help us to actually lead our best life. Why? Because then we're heart led. When we're connected, we're heart led. Okay. So hope that resonated with you. Okay. If any of this resonated with you, please comment below, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.